What is up, guys? Evil Arm here today, and today I have for you a video where we're going to be looking at more changes coming in the Fire and Blood update. This is going to be part 2 of the video, and in this part we're going to be talking about dungeon changes and equipment changes. So this is going to be a shorter video, a lot less to cover before we get into the classes, which will be the next video coming out. So anyway, let's get right into it, bring it up over here and take a look. So first things first in the dungeons changes is that Beastbog and Twisted Grimhorn Wilds are getting sped up in the rate at which they spawn. So if you don't know what those two dungeons are, or two areas are, we're going to go ahead and take a look here. So if you open up the map and you head over into the Silverfrost Mountains and you head on down to the Skypetal Plains map part, this is the Beastbog. You go here to save a character, an NPC in the story. In this area, there's bosses that spawn. These bosses that spawn drop some different items that you go ahead and can get for accomplishments and things like that. So they're just basically making it spawn faster and lowering its health. Whether that's good or bad, I don't really know. It might make it easier to farm those sacred orbs that you see down there, and maybe you can make some money. Next one on that list that's getting reduced is the spawn time for Archfiend Kyrim in the Twisted Grimhorn Wilds, which is in Viridian Coast, Jadestone Village, and Twisted Grimhorn Wilds is right here. If you open up the map of Jadestone Village, it's down here in the corner, and you run in there. You also go there for the story, and that is getting reduced as well to make it easier to farm up your weapon that you need to upgrade from stage 3 to 4 of your Baleful or Seraph path. Alright, Lair of the Frozen Fang is being made so you don't need to kill the training dummy. I don't know, that's going to take away about half a second from a run. Anyway, so that's Lair of the Frozen Fang's changes. Next, the big one, a really big one here, is on Awakened Necropolis and Gloomdross Incursion. You no longer need to kill all of the cores that spawn, you only need to do one. So that's going to knock down the time on Gloomdross Incursion by pretty much in half. And it's also going to knock down the time on Awakened Necropolis probably by a third or a quarter even, down to a quarter of its current time, since you have so less cores that you have to deal with on that map, which is great. Make it easier for people to farm out the materials. Also means that Gloomdross Incursion might actually become a very viable single-person solo farm for treasure pouches. I'm going to go ahead and take a look into that after the patch goes live. Shattered Mass, same thing. They're making it easier and faster to spawn the enemies that spawn right at the start. So Midnight Skypetal Plains are reducing the timer from 30,000 to 15,000, the bar that you need to fill up to go ahead and spawn the boss at the end. Basically, since it's outdated content, they're making it easier to go ahead and run it and get those daily challenges for people. Tower Infinity, reducing the attack power of enemies. It makes it a little bit easier for you to go ahead and clear it. Iron Tech Forge is another big one here. The Iron Tech Forge no longer will one-shot you if you fail the mechanics on the monkey at the end of the boss. Or that monkey boss fight, I should say. So that's pretty cool. No longer an instant death, so you can pretty much pug the sucker now without having to worry too much. Additionally, some bug fixes in there to make it work a little bit easier. Naryu Sanctum, same thing, just making it a little bit easier for people, as well as reducing the health regen of the Naryu Agorite, which is that stupid bug that you got to kill in the way on your way up to the boss, to Moldy Dog, in case you remember that video. So that makes a nice little quality of life. Naryu Foundry, same idea. They're making it easier for everybody to run since it's only going to normal mode after this patch. They're removing the mechanics on the final boss. They also make it so you don't keep taking damage over time when you're fighting the boss. Nice little update. Drowning Deeps just lowers the number of things you need to get for turn-in for the quest on your way to the boss. Starstone Mines removes the debuff that you get after you kill the boss, so you can just leave instead of having to wait. General thing changes, which I've already talked about once again in the other video, and I'll put the link in that in the description below, so you can just go ahead and check that out. Basically, hard mode dungeons are being removed for Evandrake Citadel, Desolate Tomb, and Naryu Foundry. It's all going to normal mode. The rewards are dropping down to normal mode. Hard dungeons are going to reward you soul shield pieces, new items called rough-hewn earrings and rings. The rough-hewn earrings and rings can go ahead and be traded in for BT accessories for a stupidly expensive exchange rate if you've got all the materials up saved. So that's really all that's going on with hard mode dungeons. Already covered the hard mode items, blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much it. So next thing, and once again, if you wanted more information on that, check out the other video, links in the description. Additionally, you'll be able to get Dragon Bloods for every single normal mode dungeon in the game. You'll be able to pick up 1 Dragon Blood at least, and then at Sogun's Lament, you'll be able to pick up 2 Dragon Bloods. So basically just one more Dragon Blood for Sogun's Lament, and everything else gets 1 Dragon Blood. Makes it a lot easier to clear. Don't have to worry about wiping as often, or you know, it'll make it definitely a lot easier to pug these dungeons, especially since you'll be able to pick them up throughout. Alright, now we're on to the equipment tab here, and like I said, this is just a shorter video because there's less information to cover on dungeons and equipment. However, the classes, there's just so much to go through. So we'll be saving that for another video. Anyway, equipment. Reduced legendary costs, so I already covered this before. Basically, they are cutting it in half, the amount of money it takes to purchase, or the amount of items it takes to purchase a legendary jewel or element, which is a nice little update for everybody in the game. Aransu weapons 7 through 9 are added. Cost for upgrading Aransu weapons 1 through 6 has been reduced, so you'll need less Aransu orbs but more gold. Not that too many people are at that point in their lives anyway in this game. So Additionally, the Tiger bracelet now procs differently, and Tiger and Divine bracelets proc differently based on your class. So Blade Master, Summoner, Force Master, and Destroyer, it procs on use instead of on hit. So what does that mean? So if you were using your skill, like for the Force Master, for example, on your dual dragons, if you used the skill and you missed it, you didn't get your proc, your Tiger bracelet proc. You know, you wasted the entire 10 seconds or whatever cooldowns left on that dual dragons. So this change to on use basically means that you can, as soon as you use the skill, you get the buff, which is a nice quality of life. Should improve the DPS of those classes actually. I don't want to say substantially, but you'll definitely notice a little bit of a benefit there if you were missing those skills originally. Same thing for the Divine Dragon bracelet on Force Masters. Garnet gems, as I've said in the last video, are available. You're going to want to pick one of those suckers up because it is going to be fantastic for clearing bosses. You can transmute octagonal obsidian gems. That is because on the new raid that's coming out, new dungeon, raid, whatever, new dungeon, treasury, ransack treasury, that you're going to be able to get heptagonal obsidians from that dungeon. So that's why they're adding in the ability to transmute octagonal obsidian gems. That's way too many big words in one sentence. But anyway, yeah, so you'll be able to transmute one up if you already have all of your heptagonals, or you're going to go ahead and farm that sucker forever. Let's see, what else? We got Helion Core. Helion Core is dropping from Iron Tech Forge, which is a nice little bonus. Helion Necklace and Helion Belt can be purchased from the Achievement Merchant now for 250 Helion Cores, and I'm assuming for the 100 kills achievement that they're going to head and add in or have for those bosses that are getting added. So that's basically you're going to have to kill those bosses 100 times, the Drowning Deeps and the new Dungeon Ransack Treasury. So I guess that's nice. If you're going to run it 200 times or 100 times and don't get your item, you'll be able to purchase it from the store. And then finally, PvE and legendary items have a different tooltip background, so it doesn't really matter at all. So anyway, guys, those are the changes to the dungeons and equipment in the game, so what you can expect in the patch that's coming out tomorrow. From that patch, yeah, that's what you're looking at. So anyway, guys, hope you found the video useful. Once again, I'll be putting out the skill updates video here momentarily as well. Going to go ahead and record that one in a second. Just breaking these up so you can filter out whichever one you want to watch. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I will see you at the next video. Peace.